Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where last episode we had a very awkward... Was that last episode or was that the episode before? You know, I don't even remember anymore. At some point in the past, we had a very awkward revolution, and that ended up destroying a bunch of our universities. So we know that we currently need an innovation cap of 163.8. Okay, so let me pull up a calculator here real quick. 163.8 minus 96.2 is... Oh, I missed the decimal button. Okay, this result is very useless. Let me try that one again. 163.8 minus 96.2. That's 67.6. We divide that by 3 to get 22.5 universities that are needed if we want to get back to that cap. Our rebels deleted universities, which is unfortunate. But we see 8 going into Gondar. We need 22. So we're going to put in... Honestly, I think we'll put in 10 into Uganda. Which means if we sort by labor here, we could just put 10 into Amhara, and that would be more than enough. That would keep us going for a while. So it would end up being something like this. Which seems reasonably fine, to be honest. How long would that take to construct? Not that long. I think I'd rather get these oil rigs, at least the ones that are having some amount of progress. Yeah, let's do this first. Then we'll get to these railways. Then we'll get to the universities. So something like this. We are starting to work on the universities here. Okay, that looks great. I think we will proceed like this. Getting those oil rigs done is, of course, a very high priority. Kindly burn this letter, huh? Gross corruption. Very rude. Minus 25 popularity or minus 20% momentum to the Agrarian Party. I think that the Agrarian Party losing momentum here is actually quite good, so we'll do that. Beautiful. So proceeding on forward here, oil rigs in Darfur are going to be done in 5 weeks on the outside. Oil discovered in the Trucial Coast. Unfortunately, that isn't anything that we control at this moment. What is our infamy? 36.4? Okay, that's definitely dropped. Bread and blood. Okay, so this is going to be over in Chad that needs emergency relief. Can we actually get that going? No, we cannot. It costs 100 authority right now. No, it costs 50 authority, and we are 1 authority short. Yikes. Maybe we should revoke this one in Oromia, bringing us up to 99, and put a new one in Chad. And Oromia just kind of has to fend for itself a bit. I guess? I mean, I don't love it, that's for sure. Socialist internationalism, huh? We would owe an obligation to Austria. And the communist ideology would be more likely to appear. That's fine. Owing an obligation to Austria is kind of weird, but sure. Seems reasonably okay. So we're going to have our oil rigs done as of now, and we just got the telephone unlocked. That unlocks Electrics Industries. Do we have access at this point to getting telephone switchboards? No, we're lacking central planning for that. We're working on mechanized farming right now. We might want to... That's in society, correct? Actually, central planning's being exposed. Okay, no problem there. We should probably consider grabbing... We actually have some arable land here. In Yemen, 0.81k, 1.01, 0.2, and 0.46. So coffee plantations is the way to go. We'll do that. There we go. Looks good. So we'll have those done relatively soon. It is still negative construction efficiency, but this is basically replacing our oil rigs. So I think that's okay. We're still working a little bit on some of these universities at any rate. So that seems reasonable for the moment. Reasonable-ish. Anyway, now there was something that I was just going to do when I got distracted. And what was that? Yeah, I know we have low standard of living. It's not great. And market access is also not great either. That's certainly noted. This is caused by shipping lanes, right? It is. Hey, Britain, I don't suppose you'd let us free. How many... I wish we could see how many reasons they had for this if we were to demand this. We can't do this because is not a committed participant in any diplomatic play. We would need Britain to not be a committed participant. So these would have to be over, right? I wish we could see what the reasons are. 62% with the Social Democratic Party winning. Okay, so let's see what our government reform ends up looking like here. Okay, that's not bad. We'll use our free government reform on that. Our loyalists are actually very, very high right now. So that looks good. What law changes could we do now that we have our new government? We could go to a council republic. I don't know that we really want to do that. We could go over to protected speech. The landowners are considered marginalized. That's amazing. That would give us additional technology spread. We would lose 50 authority, but in theory that's fine. Our authority is actually quasi-okay right now. Alternatively, we could go to migration controls, which actually seems pretty doable right now. Okay. We'll work on that. Cool. So that's all underway. We could put in, at this point, a consumption tax on, say, luxury clothes, which will boost up our income pretty dramatically. We can put that towards paying off our debt, which does sound good. We could also put it towards increasing our construction. We still have 2.37 million peasants unemployed. So maybe that's not a terrible concept. 7k per level means that we can get away with maybe 5 levels here. Let's do it. For the moment, that seems fine. We'll get that all underway. We do want to eventually queue up electrics industries. That's what I forgot to do previously. Okay, so we're going to build these, I think, in Gondar, and I'm going to do these at the bottom of the queue. We're going to build 50 of them, though, but that is at the bottom of the queue. Steam engine time. More engines, more locomotives. Yeah, we'll get the throughput. Cool. So that looks good. These construction sectors, of course, only take 3 weeks to build, so nothing too major there. And we're going to have mechanized farming very, very soon here. The real question is, do we go for arc welding after? And I think the answer is yes. We are 4 years away from finishing that, so I think that's absolutely fine. And yeah, we're down to 28.6k for now. Yeah, this is about where I expected to be. Maybe a little lower than this, yet maybe not that much lower. Yeah, that's more like it. This is more like where I expected to be here. So this is fine. We're going to finish up these coffee plantations in just 4 weeks. Of course, all of these universities are going to be a net drain on our resources, so that is definitely noted. But the coffee plantations and lead mines, I'm hoping, once they finally get finished, will hopefully offset them. So that all looks great. Foreign competition, huh? Well, that's not great. We'll prioritize Ethiopian job seekers to have less of a reduction there. And we'll see about maybe getting a setback later on to clear that out. I don't know. We'll see. Coffee plantations are going to be finishing now. So that's great. With all those coffee plantations being done, how are we doing here? 2.31 million? Okay, 2.32, 2.34, 2.35. Definitely still having some issues there with unemployment. 2.33. I'm just trying to gauge how we're doing on our construction speed right now. It feels like we still need more, but arc welding is going to be coming behind this fairly soon. So that's certainly noted. We're still working on our institutions, which means that we're likely going to need additional bureaucracy. How are we doing on our government administrations? Gondar is eventually going to need more, but what we need, I think, more than anything right now is to get these railways prioritized. Okay. We're only 2 weeks away from getting our final lead mine in Yemen done, so that's looking good. These unemployment numbers are definitely creeping upwards. There's no doubt about that, but we're running a deficit at this moment. We could increase our taxes, and we probably want to do that for now. We definitely want to be paying down our debt. We don't want to be building up additional debt. 31.5k in interest right now, so that would be good. 20% enactment success chance. Armed forces would be unhappy, but that's fine. So that brings us up to 53. Not too bad there. And as we're paying off this debt, that means our income is going to go up. That should, on its own, pay for these universities, to be honest. So that'll be fine. No problem whatsoever there. Mechanized farming comes through. And self-propelled torpedoes as well. So we can definitely grab torpedo boats. That won't help very much, but it won't hurt either. And yeah, we are turned down on our barracks right now. Tractors would be great. And we're going to put these through in all of these locations. Mechanized slaughterhouses sounds good. Do we have anything else that we can do? Plantations don't really get affected by that. And we may want to come off of chainsaws here, to be honest. 54.4k. I think for the moment we do come off of chainsaws. That's very expensive. So we'll see what that does to us economically. That should be a very large gain in theory. The electric telegraph is spreading to us, and we're working on researching arc welding. So this all looks reasonable. But we can see we're negative in our bureaucracy right now, and we're not shocked about this. So, for each of these locations that only have one right now, actually, I'm just going to build one government administration in each location. Yeah, that'll be fine. Some of these have reduced construction efficiency. We're still working on the railways at full tilt, and we're still working a little bit on the universities. For now, that looks reasonably fine. How long was it until we got central planning done? 10 to 15 months. Okay. Now, I should say, we're nearing the end of the game here. However, I'm going to be doing some traveling somewhat soon for a family event. So I should point out that I'm currently planning on continuing to play this game until we've recorded enough to be through that. So we're probably going to go a little bit beyond the end of the game for that purpose. We're probably going, well, I can say definitively that it will be over by, like, the episode that comes out on the 6th of June. Or rather, July. I had the wrong month there. So about well, I don't even know what day this is going to be. The British Republic has claimed Yemen, which is interesting. Against the Bedouin uprising. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what they're doing here. They're just going to try to crush the secession. That's fine. They can do that. I don't think that's relevant to us. No, it really isn't. But yes, I do think we might go a little bit beyond the end of the game. So basically what I'm committing to is after this episode, how many more are there going to be? This episode is going to be on, according to my spreadsheet here, this episode is going to be on the 3rd. So after this, I'm committing to at least 3 more episodes, whether we get to the end or not. I just don't want to start a new series while traveling. That's going to be awkward. So we'll get an enactment success chance here. To be clear, we're not going to have any interrupt in the upload schedule. That'll be absolutely fine. It's just that this particular series is going to go a little bit longer than it normally would have, I think. We've still got a few years left here. So we'll see how that ends up going. We're definitely concerned a little bit about our bureaucracy, but once these government administrations finish up in a few weeks, that should be absolutely fine. And our university in Gondar is 2 weeks away. I would like to think about attacking like Bunyoro right now. What are we at for our infamy? 30.7. So if we were to attack Bunyoro, we would come down over here, conquer state. We can do this through the right-click menu, can't we? Yes, we can. I should just do it that way. 15.2 infamy. Sounds good. Nobody can reach this except Britain. So we'll get that started. We are, of course, going to mobilize these guys and head on out. I don't think we need to raise up our military production types. They only have a max of 6 units, so I think we can just throw people at the problem and not throw any equipment and money at the problem. So that should be reasonably fine. How are we doing on those government administrations? 3 weeks out. The railways are also going to be done in 3 weeks. Cool. So that's looking solid. So we're about to see a big jump in our bureaucracy here, and this should keep us good until we get centralized planning, would be the idea. Karagwe sided with Bunyoro. Now that's interesting. $10.1 to conquer Karagwe. That would put us up over 50. I feel like they shouldn't have done this. We'll do it. Okay. We'll mobilize this, and we'll get into position down here as well. So Karagwe has how much? Yeah, this is not a problem either. I don't think we have to raise up our production methods. I think we can just throw troops at the problem here. Now, we're going to have to chill a bit, absolutely. I was not necessarily intending to get that level of notoriety. But Karagwe doesn't really matter here, so we're okay with that. And if anyone else decides to get frisky, well, Britain will deal with that. So that's fine. Migration controls progresses to study. Looks good. And the government administrations that are slowed down by negative construction efficiency are going to continue to be a little on the slow side. But we can see our bureaucracy is fine for the time being. So that looks good. And we're actually almost done constructing universities already as well. 173.21 capped, so we're already well over our cap. That's intriguing. I didn't expect that. Oh, universities get economy of scale. Okay, that would do it. For some reason, I was thinking they didn't. But they do. Cool. So that's good to know. We're not going to need to get any additional universities made for a while. Our health system investment goes up, which of course means that we are going to have additional population growth, although our population growth actually dropped. Intriguing. But 2.67 million unemployment is definitely gross. So this war is going to break out here shortly. Nobody else is going to come in, and it looks like we should have no problem here. We're not going to raise up our production methods. At this point, it would be a net negative to do so, I think. So that looks good. Yeah, our market access is continuing to drop off, which is just gross. So there's the war breaking out, and we're just going to push in here. We're going to propose a peace deal of both of these. Of course, they don't want to accept that right now. Why would they? And yeah, we're winning that through sheer force of numbers. Our law progressed to voting. Looks good. And at this point, we're building these electrics industries, which we're going to need. We don't need them yet, but we're going to need them in 7 to 10 months for central planning. So we're going to be very glad that we have these eventually, but it's going to be a bit before they're done. So that's reasonably fine. I do want to go in here, make sure that these are set to auto-expand, although our auto-expand doesn't really seem to be happening in any meaningful way. We should probably be publicly traded on our electrics industries, right? Probably. Yeah, coal-fired plants would not be worthwhile at this moment. So overall, this looks okay. If we were to, at this point, look to change over to chainsaws, yeah, minus 44k. That will require additional work, for sure. Cool. So we're just going to punch through here with sheer force of numbers. We've basically got Bunyoro fully occupied at this juncture. And we'll see what happens with this battle. Obviously, our equipment is hot garbage at the moment. Yeah, we're winning this battle, and presumably we're going to win down here as well. International telephone exchanges. For the Bedouin Uprising? No, we don't need that. Netherlands, on the other hand, sure. We'll increase our relations with Netherlands. Okay, so this battle is going to break out, and we're actually losing this one. But that's fine. I'm not too concerned about it. I think it's because we rolled this exhausted to start with. It's close as it is, right? So they just have they have their production methods up and we don't. That's what that's coming down to. I don't really care. It's fine. We will take the enactment success chance here. Cool. So losing this battle is acceptable. We're winning this one here, and these guys are going to transfer down over to Karagwe. Oil discovered in Gujarat, that's not relevant to us. Cool. So that's all looking good. Our infamy is up there. It will drop down. Ruler trait literary. Interesting. So 0.144 per week. Not bad. Not bad at all. Looks like this actually turned around. They just didn't have the troop count, I think. Obviously, our offense is way lower than their defense, right? But that's deliberate. And we also came off of exhausted, which helped, I'm sure. So this war is over. Completely and totally. They're not accept this yet. They haven't figured out that it's over. But it is. It's super, super over. 71 and 189 reasons. Yeah. So we'll just let that go for a little bit here. Rubber has been discovered in Zambezi. Cool. We're continuing to pay down our debt. We're down to paying 24.6k weekly in interest now. 7.11 million in credit right now. So that's looking reasonably good. We, of course, are starting to finish up some of these electrics industries, which we're probably currently oversaturating the electrics industry. And Karagwe capitulated. We now have migration controls. And these guys have one reason not to accept. Now they would accept. We can't propose the peace deal. Intriguing. Why can't we click on this? Well, they'll accept eventually. They'll capitulate. So that should be fine? Question mark? I'm pretty sure. There we go. They capitulated. 6 to 8 months now on on central planning. That seems fine. We do need to think about doing state incorporations. So down here. Cool. This is all part of Uganda. So do we have access to any additional resources or arable land from that? Well, no. But we do have access to the pop, I guess. But we need to continue to head down this direction. We could also think about fighting Egypt. We could indeed think about fighting Egypt. None of these are currently split states. So I'm not sure that there's a huge amount of point to that, although over here in Egyptian Yemen, we should probably fight for Egyptian Yemen. What do they have there? Not a lot in terms of resources. It's kind of low priority. What does Hejaz have? I want the actual county here. Sulfur mines? Sure. That's kind of mediocre. Okay. Well, we can get a couple of... Actually, we already have government administrations down there. Cool. Seems okay. We do need to check in on our infrastructure. Okay, let's sort by infrastructure here. Eritrea is at -0. What is their employment at? That should probably get subsidized. Okay. Ethiopian Congo. That is already subsidized. Not much we can do about that. Uganda. This should probably be subsidized at this point. Oromia, we'll subsidize you as well. Gondar, you can get subsidized, although I think we might still need to expand Gondar here. Yeah, I'm going to give this another 5. And then Amhara, we could subsidize you, but you're very expensive. So is Gondar. We'll not subsidize these 3, and this should get, like, at least 8. The real thing that we need, of course, is to drop the price of transportation. Currently, this is showing that would be better off on wooden passenger carriages. Yeah, let's run that for the time being. That's going to drop the price of transportation. That probably also means that we don't need these railways, because that will increase the amount of... Or we don't need some of them anyway. That will increase the amount of infrastructure as that changes over production methods. But just to be sure, and yes, I know this is probably going to be a waste, just to be sure, we're going to build something like this. So this would need to be like +5. We would have this be like +12. And then this would be plus like 15. Like so. So we're building a lot of railways here. And this does kind of delay the electrics industries. I'm okay with that, because we don't have a huge need for them just yet. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue our expansion down this direction, while simultaneously working a bit on our economy still. We definitely need some work on that. Our market access is continuing to dip, and I would like to break free from Britain at some point. It'd be interesting to find out if we could get anybody on our side. For now, though, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.